Yeah.
So
I got
these are go ahead. No, I was just gonna say these are two of the products that I'll go, and these are two of the products.
And welcome back to the Riley Black Project, Crystal and John.
Hey,
what's up?
Same old.
Not same old. We got a lot. This is a busy week. It's not the same
Listen,
old. We are jam packed.
It's busy.
I don't know.
We've been busy since
this week
like
on the book
May.
seems really like I'm already tired.
I know.
And
we leave Thursday.
And we can't even rest on we can't even rest on the weekend because we got to work the weekend.
I know.
So anyway, that's a whole
good
other
problems
story.
to have.
Yeah, stick around for the life update for that. This show's brought to you by
Katie with Monarch Pine. If you are looking for jewelry findings or jewelry blanks, go check her out on monarchpine.com and use code Riley Black for 10% off. Patrons obviously get a sweeter discount though. So
also, if you're not a member of the Facebook groups, Riley Black Project Community is the Gen Pop where everyone is there. So you get like all the updates, is like what we're doing and stuff like that. And then a super exclusive group, TRBP Hangout. That's for our patrons. And you guys are dropping off. So we're going to have to revisit this list and somebody's getting booted off. Okay? Because we know you guys are dropping. Not like flies, but you're dropping. It's not a good sign. But so don't forget to join Patreon. If
we're going to start doing some giveaways.
Yeah, we got to do something.
Yeah. Well, we were going to anyway, but now it's really...
now it's really going to happen to keep the ones we have. No, but so if you haven't joined Patreon, it's a great time over there. And we got that group there. That's all the housekeeping stuff we have.
Kind of at a space for all the names.
All the shout outs this week. Once again, awkward cut in, as promised. These are the names. What do we got?
We got Heidi, Tanner, Kim and Garrett, Anna, Ann Hodgkiss, Melody P, Taimada, Pam with Barefoot Inspirations, Alicia, Christian C, Christian with Something House Creative, Kim and Garrett Make It, Patricia L, Michelle with Edwards Farm Decor, Toby with Cuddle.xyz, Keith, Christina M, Jen with Laser Last Design Co, Candy with Turtle to Go Creations, Sheila with Science Inspirations LLC, Natalie C, Hannah B, Kevin with Sludge Epoxy, Daniel with Alive Pixel Creates, Danny M, Stephanie with Pretty Petty Design, Catherine with Primary Market, Bree with Burn Shack, Aaron with Aaron's Acrylic Animals, Christy C, Jess with Jersey Girl Sign Shop. I feel like we need to change that because she's JT, whatever now. Anyway, back to the list. Jillian B, Trisha with Mama Six Creations, Rexy with Spreading Stardust, Heather Lynn with Boba Design, Superfan Brandy, Victor with Excited Adam, Katie with Monarch Pine, Lisa, David with Creative Cut Supplies, Stephanie L, Barbie C, Madison B, Emily, That Mom with Laser, Mark with Big Blue Laser Designs, Kathy Ray, The Testing Queen, MJ with Crafting Carry Customs, Ryan with Sprouts Creations, and Will with Crazy Laser Dad.
And if you want to be added to that list, you can too. Just join the Say My Name tier and of
be part of the cool crowd.
Patreon. Yes. And now on with the show. That was the break for the shout outs this week. So
nice.
Insert here, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So today's gonna be a fun one. It's already a fun one. It's always a fun one. But, this week we have some good stories. So they're no stranger to the limelight because they've been on As Seen on TV.
Right. I kind of want that.
What, to be on As Seen on TV?
I want to be on As Seen. Maybe they can give me some tips.
And they go way back since middle school, which is a, I don't know. I have like not even a handful.
I was gonna say it's a rarity.
A couple of people that I know. Not even like we're not even like that. Like we sent reels to each other every now and then.
Right. Yeah.
And then they have a great story while they were visiting factories at a border. Some stuff went down. You know how those borders be.
Careful.
What? It's a checkpoint.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, not that. I'm not going political.
You never know with you.
No, I was talking about their story. Anyway, welcome to the show. Without further ado, John and Marc of MakerFlo. How's it going, guys?
Hey.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having us on the show. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we met you guys in person last year at Next Level, and you guys had the fancy jackets, right?
Yeah, we got the glitter sequin jackets that we bring those out on special occasions, at our events. So.
Yeah, I love that. Are they gonna make an appearance this year too?
I guess you have to be there to find out.
I was gonna say they're not gonna give that
away. High profile. That's right.
Nice. So, tell me about your background. Well, should we get out the fun story first?
I mean, it's what everyone wants to hear about.
Yeah. Let's hear about what happened at the border.
And what border and all the details in between.
How did you get away?
Well, this is a China border story. We And most of our factories are in China. And John and I, we really enjoy going to China. We're probably going to go here in a few weeks again. We're starting to plan that out, just to really get into the culture. Understand like how they do business, why they do things the way they do, how the products are made. Like it's really getting into the nitty gritty and understanding the products and the way they process things. And we were out getting up to like northern China area, like near Russia, right?
It was up there.
Yeah.
It was like a 9 hour. It was 9 hours on a bullet train going north.
Yeah.
And then it was a 3.5 hour car ride going further north.
Wow.
This was such an isolated place. When we went to like the mall area to walk around, me being a white gringo guy, I was getting like mobbed by the kids in the mall.
Yeah.
And they're like taking pictures of me, and they're just like all around me. I felt like I was like a celebrity or something.
Right.
I think you're underplaying that a little bit. It was kind of it got a little creepy actually, because we were like going up an escalator, and like it almost I felt like I was his bodyguard, because people were like they were just like they had their phones out and they were going up the escalator just like recording him as if they've never seen like a white person before.
Oh my God.
And then we were like walking. I think there was like a group of us. There was like 6 or 7 of us. It seriously felt like some kind of like MTV show. You know? You were like walking in the front, and we were like behind him, and everybody was like coming out of the shops and looking at him.
Oh my God.
And everybody was like calling us to like have like dinner in their restaurant. And we picked the restaurant.
I started taking pictures with kids and stuff. I started playing it up. I mean, how many times
Right.
do I
Yeah,
get to
for sure.
Yeah. Right.
And I thought the funniest part was Marc has a really tough time with chopsticks. It's like his kryptonite. And we're in this Chinese restaurant, and Marc it's soup with noodles and like pork in it.
Oh
and
no, I'd be done.
To pick up this piece of pork with his chopstick, and he I mean, he's like 50% of the way there, and it goes plop, and we didn't even know there were 30 people watching and recording him somewhere in China. There's a video circulating of Marc that he cannot use a chopstick, and everyone starts laughing, taking pictures. I'm not even kidding. Like, and China is a pretty when you go to China, it's a pretty big place, and the people there are pretty awesome, and they're different. It's so big, And so I remember the owner of the shop, she was laughing, and she came from behind. And we were all laughing and stuff. And she looks at myself and one of my agents, and she just literally goes like, "Yeah, you don't have any value here. Just let Marc enjoy himself," or something like that. And I'm like, "Thank you." I appreciate that.
They didn't care about the brown Indian guy.
They didn't care about the brown guy. So, yeah. So, but that was probably one of our most entertaining. Oh, we didn't even go. That's not even the story.
Yeah.
on the way there, that's where we were.
Little side story.
This isolated place. On the way there was a border crossing.
Well, I think another scary part was, and this was actually post the story, was the amount of communist flags we saw everywhere. Yeah. And that was kind of scary, because we were like going in, but we realized why we got held at gunpoint, because we were literally going into like imagine like going to like your Homewood Suites or like your Hilton or whatever, and there's like propaganda like on the check-in counter, and like the communist flags were like in the hotel, and we didn't really know where we were going, and it must have been that must have been that gray zone, where there's still a little bit of communism, but like you're not sure, you don't know.
Right.
And literally, this town that we were going to, if you've ever watched a movie and you're like, hey, how do they make the weather and the colors and everything look gray? That was that's where they filmed it, because you walk outside and it's everything is gray. It's like overcast and gray 24/7. It was wild. And so anyways, that's what I remember. But there was a KFC there. Yeah. There was a KFC there. KFC made it all the way out there.
Wow.
So but anyways, let's get back to the story.
Yeah, we're driving through the border, and the checkpoint, and all these guys got their guns and stuff, and it's getting dark at night, and they flash a light in the car, and then they see like non-Chinese people in there, and this white guy and some Indian people, and they're like, they're getting a little suspect. They're like, okay, what are you guys doing? Where are you going? This doesn't happen every day. So they basically demand us to get out of the vehicle, and we have our passports on us, and they just snatch our passports, and we're like, oh crap, like, are we gonna get those back, or what's going on?
I thought I didn't think we were gonna. I mean, I was like ready to be like, they ain't finding us.
This is where
this is how it ends. I'm like, at least shoot me. Don't
Right.
make it a cool story, you know?
Right. Don't
So
torture
our,
me.
our other partner over there, he's also from India. He's basically our agent who handles all of our sourcing, all of our factories and everything, and all of our needs. But he speaks fluent Chinese, and he speaks Hindi and he speaks English. So he's like, it's like, all right, guys, I got this. Like I'll translate. I'll get us through this. And we're all freaking out and stuff. And
firstly, Mark is not making it sound. He's making it sound like it was a walk in the park, but they actually grabbed us by the collars. They told us to they were like yelling. First of all, they were literally screaming at the car as if we could hear
in a
it,
language you don't understand.
Exactly. They were like, oh, and we're like, I don't know what you're saying, bro. I don't know what you're saying. Like chill. Like, don't shoot me. Like, please.
Yeah.
Well, they opened the door, and like, I'm a pretty big guy, but I mean, they got me like by my collar. They were like pulling us out. And then they had us like outside the car, and there must have been like, I don't know, it felt like 20 people, but I'm sure it was like 8,
Right.
But
too
like
many.
yeah, and it looked like they had AK-47s. And they were like all pointing at us as if I don't know what we were doing, but but the funny part is our agent, he comes out with a pack of cigarettes, and cigarettes the love language of China. So basically he comes out with a pack of cigarettes, and he's like, all right, guys, chill. Here's a cigarette. He starts
turn into Oprah.
Yeah.
You get a pack and you get a pack.
Yeah.
And they all like calm down. They all calm down. And then they took our passports. And I got afraid when they you hear stories like this, where if you lose your passport, you're at the hell. Like you're done for.
Yeah.
We don't know where we were at. And we definitely can't drive out of there and take another night. I mean, we're so far off the reservation here. And we're like, oh my God, our passports are gone. But
here's the thing: in China, they like block the internet, and they block like what you can, when you can go on the internet, what you can see on the internet. So like, you can't just go on there and be like U.S. Embassy. It's like,
right,
internet blocked and stuff. But anyways, we find out what they really wanted, and really the head chief honcho of the checkpoint facility wanted pictures with me and us. So we all have like cigarettes.
Legit.
We're all just like smoking it up, like trying to get through the checkpoint. And we're like, all right, we'll just get some pictures and then we get on our way. He's like, yeah, can get some photos and then you guys can go.
The Riley Black Project is sponsored by Monarch Pine.
Monarch Pine is your trusted source for premium laser blanks and jewelry findings. From large loop earring hooks made specifically for acrylic and wood earrings to laser-tested stainless steel necklace and bracelet blanks, they have everything you need to bring your creative ideas to life.
As a maker, you know the value of quality supplies. And that's exactly what Monarch Pine delivers. Whether you're crafting as a hobby or running a full-time business, their products make it easy to design confidently and create stunning pieces.
Head to monarchpine.com and use code RileyBlack to get 10% off your order. Riley Black patrons get an even bigger discount, so don't miss out.
While you're at it, join the Monarch Pine Craft Supply Insiders Facebook group. It's a vibrant community where makers share tips, inspiration, and their incredible creations.
Monarch Pine, where your creativity takes center stage. Visit monarchpine.com and use code RileyBlack today.
Not tomorrow. Today. Attention all laser owners and crafters. Are you tired of spending hours cutting, painting, and assembling laser products? Look no further than the Crazy Laser Dad's Laser Ready Blanks.
Their high-quality blanks are expertly sourced and tested and ready to use on your laser. Say goodbye to the hassle and frustration of time-consuming projects and hello to more time creating and selling.
Plus, with their wide selection of items, you'll surely find the perfect blank for your customers.
Visit crazylazerdad.com today and take your laser crafting to the next level with their Laser Ready Blanks. Okay, but like I wish we could see these pictures because was like your face like
I feel like
terrified,
I feel like it's a montage from Hangover.
Totally.
With like the guns and the cigarettes.
Right.
And he looks freaked out.
Yeah.
It was let me see. I think I have the pictures.
Stop.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like obviously not when we got held at gunpoint because that's the last thing I was thinking of.
Yeah.
You've been like live streaming it,
Right.
But losing
I
your
don't think
passport,
live streaming was that big back in the day.
I can definitely relate with losing your passport while he looks for the pictures. Because when I would visit to Cuba, since I wasn't staying in a hotel, I had to change my visa to one with like someone who's staying. Basically, it's their way to get money since they're not getting your tourist dollars from the hotel. You have to pay to change your visa. Well, you have to turn in your passport.
Oh.
And it's not like you get the visa like right then and there. It's not like a couple. It's like come back tomorrow or the next day.
Oh no.
And so I was telling my cousin, especially the first time, I'm like, they got my passport.
Right.
Like, no, you're fine. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like,
right. I can't go home.
It's fine
man.
for you because
Right.
you're in your country, but this is my only form of ID. Like,
Right.
So we just leave it here? And he's like, yeah, we can't get it back. So I was like, I was like, well, I mean, there was nothing the government has my passport now.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went back the next day and we were there for like hours before, because it's not like here
Right.
where it's like, come back, your appointment's at 1:00. You'll be done like at 1:30 or 2.
Right.
Over there, it's like, yeah, come back around 1. It's like, oh yeah, he went to lunch. He'll be back sometime today.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yikes.
So I did find it. So here's the picture. I don't know how well you could see it.
Okay.
But-
Yeah, you're gonna have to send that to me, and we'll as in him, we'll
Yeah,
put
there
it
it
in there
is.
and post.
Well, the
That's
guy
so
next
funny.
to Mark, if you see that guy next to Mark, he was the chief, and
Yeah.
he made sure that Mark was next to him.
Right. Yeah.
And then
That's
and the
so
other
funny.
scrawny looking guy next to the chief, which is right,
Mm.
whoops,
Oh.
which is right there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's literally like 4'5",
Right.
and weighs maybe like $110, right? And
Yeah.
that's the guy that basically made all the guys with the guns go away. So
Wow.
there's a little guy, and he's out there like, it's okay, it's okay, don't worry.
It's always a
you
little
know?
guy.
Right.
It's always the little guys that surprise you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, that's our near death. Oh my God, I even took this photo. Look at that. That's the picture of the thing
Of the
Mark
soup
couldn't-
that he could.
Mark couldn't pick that up with his chopsticks.
I
looks-
love it.
it looks
Listen, I
good.
couldn't either. I can't pick up. Like, I struggle with sushi, and sushi's the easiest.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow, you guys are. I just opened
See,
like a
going
treasure
down.
trove. All right. Here's
Down
another one.
memory
Let me show you
lane.
this one. So we were at this Mongolian restaurant. This was the northern city, right? And so
Mhm.
again, Mark was super. Everybody
Right.
wanted to take a picture with him. So my camera is literally my reel from that time is literally like we're in the supermarket. Boom. Like everyone's taking
Oh,
photos.
and
with the
he's
guy, right?
well. So how tall are you, Mark?
I'm 6'1".
Yeah,
So
that
I
helps
just,
too.
Like when we're at the train station
Oh,
in
yeah.
China, like I could just
Yeah.
I'm towering over everything.
You just
I'm
see
like
the
a good
tops of
foot over
heads.
everything. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
just see
Yeah.
over everything.
So,
Yeah.
so I don't want to take over. I don't want to take over this whole podcast, but there is a story of this too, and this was freaking hilarious. So one of the coolest part was the food here was absolutely phenomenal. We were in these like Mongolian huts back here, and it's just like one table, and they were bringing the food in. Well, they found out that Mark was there, so all these like little kids and stuff were like little windows around the hut. And they were basically going around and giggling and watching us eat. It was a little, intrusive, but like we
Right.
got used to it.
Fishbowl.
Well, we-
Yeah.
Yeah, so we come out of this, right? And if you notice, right next to Mark, there's this guy, right?
Mhm.
Right there. Well, he was the head of the family. And he basically came out and he started joking with us that he wants Mark to marry his daughter. And we're like, that's super funny. Like, yeah, whatever,
He's like, here
and
you
we
go.
keep walking, and he's being persistent. He's like, no, you should consider it. My daughter is right here. Let me call her. And
Oh
we're
my
like,
God.
what is going on?
Well, so did you?
Well, he offered me a pack of smoke, so I couldn't decline that.
Yeah. Wait, I have that too. So
I
Mark,
don't even smoke. I just like John's like, you have to smoke. You have to like
Right.
accept it.
so here's a picture. If you notice, Mark has it right over his
Is that
ear.
her?
Yeah. So that right there is her. And
so
and
funny.
so in the previous images,
Okay.
she wasn't in there. And then
Yeah.
she finally came. Her dad's like, all right, stand next to him and take a photo. and I was like, Mark, just please light up the cigarette, take a couple of puffs. We got to get out of here before you get married.
Right.
It's your big wedding day.
Yeah. I mean, it would have probably been a ball of a wedding. The whole town would have came out.
Right.
But I will say this, that the culture was like, we're out there and the people are super sweet.
Yeah.
It's one of the I think greatest joys that we get out of having MakerFlo is the fact that we can travel and meet all these different folks and these cultures and these people. And
Yeah.
in China, if you're in North China, if you're in like Southeast China, Southwest China, Central China, like the culture can change a little bit and it's different and it's quite awesome. So we really enjoy doing that. And I mean, even the hotel we stayed in, I was dead scared in that place. Like there was like bugs coming out of the. It was a whole experience. So,
yeah.
but we did it for you guys. So,
Right. So, how the heck did you get to the point where you guys are,
being held at
dodging guns
gunpoint,
and bugs
yeah,
and
crossing
cameras?
Well,
what were you doing before?
Like before MakerFlo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to go to the origin story?
Yeah.
The origin story. Well, Mark and I have been we've been entrepreneurs probably since we were kids. Mark more so than I have. Mark can tell you his story. He started when he was 3. I started when I was like 13, 14. So
Yeah.
I used to actually I used to play tennis and I started like teaching tennis as an assistant coach because I was actually pretty good. I was playing like state level.
Yeah.
And then, when I started making money at that young age, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then, I just did all kinds of stuff. I was hustling on Craigslist. And when Black Friday was Black Friday, I was always in line and getting the deals and flipping, something or the other. I then got into like iPhone flipping, and I was jailbreaking iPhones and selling them around the world. And there was something or the other I was doing that was like, keeping me busy. And I did a lot of what's it called? Not donation, but volunteer work between like the ages of 15 and 19. And then I got my first corporate job when I was 17. So I was pretty young when I got my first corporate job. And then I stayed through my corporate job and met Mark towards the end of we re-met again in college where we started our business. But that's kind of been my path. I started, hustling as a kid and stuff, and went corporate. And then when I was in corporate for like 7 years, I was like, yeah, this ain't it. So, and then since I've quit, never went back. So, and hoping to keep it that way. But Mark has a more fun story. So Mark.
Yeah, no, for me, it's just like you said, it started at a young age. We've always lived on golf courses when I was a kid. So from the age of 3, I started selling right out of the backyard, right on the golf course, selling candy bars and golf balls, and started making deals. Then we'd put the golf balls in the little egg cartons, and I'd organize them with Titleist and Nikes and all that stuff.
Were you selling them their golf balls back to them because they
exactly. Yeah. Sometimes people would be like, "Oh yeah, that's my name. I must have lost that one last round."
I thought I did it in the fairway.
And similar to John, anything to do to make a buck. I would sell candy at school and hustle that, and I would sell glow sticks on the 4th of July and get my buddies to go around the parking lots and sell that. I would hustle like sporting events tickets when I knew something would pop off. I try to get in at the retail price and then resell sporting event tickets. But I started my like e-commerce business when I was 13. So in like 2001, I started selling on eBay. And this was when eBay was like the thing, super popular. And I started selling used shoes, and like my previous basketball shoes is what really got me into it. I ended up selling a pair of basketball shoes that I wore all season for more than what we paid for them.
Nice.
And so that was really like, okay, there's something here with shoes, and I really got into shoes and apparel, and did that for about a good 5 years, selling that, and then that kind of ended. In a lawsuit that I can't really speak much about, but that ended right when I turned 18 of legal age, and had to stop doing some of that stuff. And then that's when John and I went off to college, and then we kind of reconnected around that 18, 19 years of age and started a business together.
Nice.
Right. Yeah.
So were you guys friends in middle school, or did you just like know of each other?
Yeah, we just knew of each other. I think we probably had classes or like PE together, but I was more of the, I played sports and the athletic, type of kid, and John was more of the studious one and taking like, the
it was like honors, AP classes, all that kind of stuff. So it was a whole different crowd, but we kind of knew each other, had a couple of classes together, and and so we never like had like a, if we ever met again later on in life, we'd be like, hey, what's up? And that's exactly what happened. Right. Yeah. So
I think the important thing to take out of that is like you never want to like burn bridges. At a young age, it's hard to like understand that. You always want to be nice to everybody. And you never know who you're going to run into again, or you're going to bump heads in, or who you could collab with and do amazing things with. And John and I just we always knew of each other. We had positive things that we thought of each other, and when we connected in college, we're like, let's hang out. And then we started. Our brain started going, and and John had presented another shoe business idea to me about selling women's shoes. And there were these like women's rollable slippers that you can fit into your pocket or your clutch. So when you go out at night and you're wearing high heels and you're dancing,
Right.
you want to change out of your high heels, you can switch into these, we call them backup soles. Our company was Backup Soles.
Nice.
And we're selling the foldable flats.
Yeah, I've seen those before. And back when I wore anything but tennis shoes, I would bring those. Because before you'd bring those, you'd bring like flip-flops.
Yeah,
but the
those would
flip-flops,
stay in the car.
Right, exactly.
A lot of times
yeah.
you have to make it back to the car.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey guys, how great would it feel if this was the year you finally got to escape the 9-to-5 and embrace a lifestyle of creativity and entrepreneurship?
Every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, Eon Laser USA invites you to join the Above and Beyond webinar, where you'll learn how you can make this a reality.
Join leading laser industry professional and brand ambassador Emily, aka That Mom with a Laser, and Eon Laser USA's sales manager Alicia as they dive into all things Eon.
Learn about the advantages of owning an Eon Laser and get the scoop on Eon's rewards and partner benefits. Plus, get a glimpse at how everyday people who started out with zero experience paid off their lasers, scaled their businesses, and transformed their lifestyles.
So if you're ready for a lifestyle change, head on over to eonlaser.us/whyus and sign up for the Above and Beyond webinar today.
Thanks for listening. Laser on.
Bye.
Are you tired of endlessly joining jump rings?
There's gotta be an easier way.
Are your wrists aching after numerous orders? Introducing Keychain Thingies, the time-saving solution for anyone making keychains.
It's so fast and easy.
These revolutionary plastic thingies make large or multiple orders a snap. So easy, even a child can do it.
That was so easy.
So what are you waiting for? Go to keychainthingies.com and order now. Keychain Thingies will change your life. However, they should not be used to cure any medical ailments, repair broken relationships, or help lose weight. Do not use Keychain Thingies unless you want to save time and aggravation.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, these shoes are cool because they fit in your clutch. So you could literally take them with you, or like, you know, if you're going out with your significant other, they can just put them in their pocket. So it was really compact. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how long did you guys do that for?
I think like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
Something like 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Yeah. It was our first go at sort of doing a business. And so that was my first time doing e-com. I think you had he had already delved into e-com, but it was my first time doing it. But I think it was also our first time where we're trying to like brand something and trying to like, you know, it was the first time doing the inventory thing and first time doing wholesale, first time doing customization. I think that was like our first business that cracked us open and, you know, gave us a lot of experience in this world, but also got us a little accustomed to like, you know, accustomed to like fail, which was like probably the biggest learning out of that business was like all the things we learned from failing. So that's what I always say that business was our biggest success because if we wouldn't have gone through that, I don't know if we would have even gotten this far. So
So what were, I guess, some of what are the first things you can think of as far as that you learned from that business that you technically consider a failure, but they helped you actually do it better in MakerFlo or just in life in general?
Well, in the shoe business, there's a lot of size ranges, right?
Oof,
And then you got
the inventory nightmare, I'm sure.
The inventory can really skyrocket, and that was like, you know, we thought maybe a color or a style would be popular, and maybe we didn't do the right type of testing or product, you know, market testing. We just came out with it like, oh, this is going to be a winner for sure.
Yeah.
And it maybe like a fingerprint thing, and then like it didn't sell. We're like, oh crap, like that didn't really work out as we planned. Like that's definitely a learning experience to really like slowly go into it, maybe do limited drops and stuff instead, not invest
to
so
test it
heavily
out.
into one style.
Yeah, I think for me it was really figuring out what like really understanding cost bases. I think the Backup Soles was like the one place we truly got our butts handed to us because we didn't understand cost bases, landed costs, ongoing costs, variable costs, fixed costs. And I think a lot of businesses have that problem where, you know, you might have business coming, but you get that feeling towards the end of the month or, you know, that, hey, where is the money? You know, like where did the money go? Also,
all these
I think,
sales, but not a lot of dollars in the bank account at the end of the month. Yeah.
You got a lot to talk about as far as, hey, I did this wholesale and that wholesale, but you know, if it's not giving you your time back or you don't have freedom and you're, you know, working 24/7 weekends, this and that, then we learned that, hey, like you got to know your costs. So are you making profit?
Yeah.
And so I think that was a big thing for me, and it still holds true. And I don't think anyone is a professional at it. We still struggle with it here and there, but we have to keep reminding ourselves, like, okay, know your cost and know that you're making a profit, because that's super important.
Yeah, for sure.
I think a lot of people starting out in this business and stuff, they don't completely understand that. So
yeah. So how did MakerFlo start?
Yeah, I think it goes back to Backup Souls. So one of the things at Backup Souls that we did was so what we were doing was we had customers that were coming to us that were having weddings, and they were asking us to customize the shoes and the bags. So we used to have a bag that when you took your heels off, you could put it in that bag, and then you could wear the replacement, the Backup Soles, right?
Okay, right.
Yeah, because you have to carry your shoes somehow, right? We went out, we always saw women or guys carrying the shoes in their hands, and we're like, yeah, let's put it in the bag. So it made sense,
Yeah,
be solution driven. And so we basically we got a lot of inquiries from wedding organizers and folks that were having weddings that wanted to get the bags personalized to their wedding logo or their names on it or something like that. And then slowly that turned into us doing jobs for like Toyota, for Facebook, for a slew of Fortune 500 companies. And we also got into Love's gas station. So that was kind of cool. Nice. They were holding our shoes for a long time. So that was pretty gnarly. But we realized very quickly that the added value, and this was again like over 10 years ago, that you could make a better margin by adding value, which was personalizing, than just taking a product that was made in China and just reselling it. And I think there's a lot of that going on, in our industry where, a lot of folks are going and they grab a catalog and they're just selling whatever is being offered. But, making sure that we learn that either through personalization or through, adding certain added value things to your product, really kicks it up a notch and really gives it that edge. So, I would say like Backup Souls is the reason, one of the first reasons why MakerFlo came to be.
Yeah. Then we had a customer that was wanting like a display box for their wedding to kind of organize the shoes by size in the bathroom and stuff. And then she's like, well, after you make the box, can I use it as a memory box and all that? And so we fell upon this place called Tech Shop. It was partnered with ASU, the college we went to. And so we got a discounted membership at Tech Shop. And at Tech Shop, they had like screen printing where we learned how to print.
So like a makerspace.
Yeah, it's a makerspace. They had like water jet cutters, a wood shop, and all that. Nice. And then they had laser engravers there, and they had the universal laser systems, ULS, with the lasers they had. And so we're learning about how to cut plywood and make a box out of it. And we're like, wow, this is really cool. And we ended up making the box, and the customer, she loved it. And we're like, man, there's a lot of things we could do with these laser machines. And this was back in like 2014. Yeah. When lasers weren't even like, not many people knew about it. So we went to like Walmart and Michael's. We bought some wood boxes, some baseballs, and some plywood, and we just started engraving things and put them on Etsy. And we're like, well, they sold like right away. Yeah. And we're like, okay, there's something here, And then we had this engraving business, and off we went with that. And before you know it, we're like buying out all the stock of certain products on Amazon. And like one of our best sellers were these watch boxes where we would engrave on the glass. We would buy like 50, 100, 200 at a time. And then the supplier would like run out, it was just, we never knew what they had, or we never knew when they were coming out with more. And so we're like, man, we have to start sourcing ourselves. Yep. We have to get in there and just order it direct. So we ordered our first container not too long into the business, a few months into running the business. And here comes this container, we had no idea what to do with it. We didn't know where to put all this stuff. And we ended up renting storage units by my house to put all the product into storage units, because we didn't have like a warehouse. We had nothing, just running it out of my house. So that was a fun story.
The storage guys probably thinking we were dealing drugs or something.
Right.
We were like coming in and out so much because we were operating out of Marc's house. And so it was literally like 200 yards away from the storage unit. So it was like, and the watch boxes were massive. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we were the number one seller of those on Etsy at the time. Yeah. Because the volume we were selling of watch boxes was absolutely insane. And we would just be like, oh, I need another 2 cases. And here John or Marc is heading over, and we used to probably make 5, 6, 7 trips to the storage
Right.
unit and grabbing it. And the crazy part was, in Arizona we don't have basements, but apparently the storage unit has a basement, and it was so annoying because you had to grab this thing, go downstairs, and our storage units were all the way at the end. And I still remember and trying to find the right SKU and get it up and take it up, load the car, unload the car. I think we spent like 40% of our time just loading and unloading cars.
Right.
Yeah. But storage units is a great hack, when you run out of space at your home, if you're running a business, rather than investing in a retail space or a warehouse, just get a few lockers, and they have air conditioned cold ones that can keep your product in good condition, or they might not have those, you don't need it. But that was a good hack for us. We used the heck out of that.
Katie suggested the same thing. She just got a warehouse, but she basically, because Monarch Pine took over her house, so like her, the household holiday decorations and stuff, those all had to be in the storage unit, and then also, I'm sure inventory and that kind of stuff was also in there. But she had, I think, at least one, if not a couple, storage units before she actually ended up going to get a warehouse. And I don't think it's really a retail space or anything like that, at least not right now. But yeah, she filled, of course, I knew she would, but it filled up in no time. You add like a couple tables and stuff, to streamline processes and new processes in a new space. But yeah, that's a good suggestion for people, is to start with storage units, at least at first, because it's a lot more affordable than, warehouse and or retail space right now. It's really expensive a lot of places. So
yeah, you definitely experience the vacuum effect. When you get more space, when you get storage unit, when you get a warehouse, it's like, at first it's like, wow, there's so much here. And then before you know it, it just fills up, and the vacuum effect is in full effect, and then you need more space. And you got to really keep it as organized as possible to keep it efficient.
So when did you switch from, your house? Well, and then I guess, so when did you switch from the watch boxes to actually like selling the supplies that you guys were sourcing for your own business?
Yeah, it was probably a year or I don't know, a year and a half.
It's pretty quick. Yeah, about a year or so into the engraving business. We were getting inquiries from other people about like, hey, where'd you get
those?
Like, I've never seen that.
It was competitors. That were
well, and if you're a hot seller on Etsy,
I can't remember whether it was like decanters or what it was when we introduced it. There was one of our competitors was just like, listen, I'll be dead honest with you. I'm your competitor. Where are you getting this stuff from?
Right.
So we always made things unique. Our products were always different. Like John said, we didn't just go to the factories and just take what they had off the shelf. We wanted to make them unique to us, so they couldn't be found anywhere else to give us that competitive advantage. And so people were reaching out. And we're like, okay, well, maybe we should just start selling the blanks, and that's where the idea of MakerFlo came about.
Yeah, just to keep our cost bases down. We were like, hey, we already have this inventory. Let's just start, like a supply company. I would have to say that there's a lot of folks that started that way today.
Yeah.
I would put quite a bit of money on it that Marc and I were probably one of the OGs that did that. So one of the first people that kind of got on Etsy blew up because there was nobody on there at the time. And it was still a very it was in his adolescence, so to speak. We got in at the right time, and then it took off, and we were like, hey, let's compete against the 2 other big suppliers that are out there and see if we can make something happen,
Right.
And then I think it was, we had enough volume, fortunately, on Etsy that we could support ordering, that kind of volume. And then we slowly started our journey of supplying. Yeah.
Yeah. I think all the suppliers I know were all, including me, we're all accidental. You start sourcing it for yourself, and there's tons of people who don't want to go through the headaches of sourcing material, especially if there's smaller shops, because it comes with a lot of headaches, not getting what you ordered, sometimes not getting an order at all, depending on what kind of vetting you've done, with your supplier, and just finding them. When I want to source a new product, I always get anxious because I'm like, oh, I don't want a new supplier, because you you end up getting relationships with the suppliers you have, and then when you start with someone new, it's like, oh, like, is this going to be good? Is it, when you sent me the samples, did you send me the best of the best, and then what I get is going to be, shit. So there's definitely some pros and cons to like sourcing your own. To not having to source your own. I always tell people, if you're just ordering like a couple, here and there of things, let somebody else do that work for you. If you're ordering hundreds or thousands, it usually will make sense to one, either, get a wholesale account with that supplier, or, source your own, because then ultimately you're going to have that better price for your product, especially if you're selling that many. But for most laser owners, unless you have like a very niche down, if you're selling a little bit of everything, it's usually not worth the headache of trying to.
Well, that's what I was going to add.
Get it
that
yourself.
It's not necessarily always, not getting what you want, but quantity, because sometimes you have to order these things in mass quantities. And
my minimum is 2,000.
Or like what's it called? Like Amanda and Cerulean Tides, started in wanting acrylic to work on, but could only buy these huge sheets that she had no space for.
Yeah, Amanda with Cerulean's Tides started. She had just gotten her laser and she wanted to try out acrylic, and she had found a local acrylic shop, but they only sold acrylic in 4x8 sheets. And so if she wanted purple, she had to basically have, I don't know what it was, something like 20 sheets of purple. And so she found like 3, 4, 5 of us, and we all went in on it together. Right. And then we split those sheets, to where we each had a couple sheets each. I still have some of those.
I was going to say, I bet you still have some.
Totally. And some of the colors, I'm like, what the fuck did I need? Like 4 sheets of transparent orange, but whatever, here we are. Anyway, so, that's how she started, was because, she bought the big sheets, had them cut it down, and then split it amongst her friends. And we were all like, you should sell these, because, much like you guys, then it was like E Street. I think it's E Street. I forget. But there was only like a few like bigger suppliers who would cut them down to those custom glow forge sizes for you. And even then you had to usually pay a price or premium for those custom cuts. And there wasn't, a ton of people out selling like materials that would fit into those smaller desktop lasers.
Well, the market was also growing as well with the lasers.
Yeah. So again, just accidental.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, at what point did you guys start traveling to China and meeting the I guess they're the owners of the factories, right? Because they're your suppliers. At what point did you go over there, and what was, I guess, the initial reason to go meet them? Was it just out of curiosity, or did you guys want to streamline certain things?
Yeah, at first we were working with trading agent. We had this over relationship of these watch boxes. We had this agent who would help us source other products and stuff. And she invited us over there to kind of just see what was going on and help us look for new products. That's usually the goal when we go over there, is we're either currently working on new products, and we're going to continue to look for additional products. And so that was the purpose of going over there. But then we got to understand how the whole agent thing works. We thought she was the factory, right? But she's just a trading agent. And so a lot of people on Alibaba and these companies, a lot of the real factories that you can get like the best pricing and work closely with, they're not even on Alibaba. They have like trading companies that handle all their sales for them because they don't want to deal with it.
Right. Yeah. So, well, like my supplier, they're not the manufacturer.
So they'll just mark it up a little bit, 3 to 10% possibly, and then handle all the BS that they have to deal with and stuff.
Right.
So we got in there, we learned about that, and we're negotiating a percentage for her and stuff. We're like, okay, well, I don't know if we want to do this. And we ended up like getting somebody that was within our family to live there and handle all of our stuff over there. So one of John's family members that is one of our partners and works for us, he lives there full time and handles all of our needs over there.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like when it started getting like serious and we started getting a lot of volume. we were like, hey, it's always a good idea to meet face to face. You know, I think
Right.
I think Alibaba definitely made the whole faceless, doing business and being faceless like a thing, but
Yeah.
it still doesn't beat like going over there and
For
meeting
sure.
all your people and talking to them face to face. And we have had a lot of, it's been great that we've done that. We've got to know a lot of our suppliers personally.
Yeah.
And in any business, if anyone tells you that times have been great 24/7, I mean, it's not been
Right.
great. But when you build these relationships, your support system is your factory. And that's one big thing about us is our support system, like, in a big way is our factories. And they backed us when things like are not good. They'll be like, hey, don't worry about, the payment terms, like it's okay. Or, hey, this happened, like we'll take care of you. Or, hey, like this product didn't come out right. Like, okay, we'll air it like tomorrow. Don't worry about it. And so when you go overseas, when you meet face to face, and this is not something that's specific to our industry, but just in general, it makes a huge difference. And it also builds confidence in the supplier that, hey, wow, this guy came all the way over here. Like they mean business, they're serious, and they'll give you the respect, and then we give them the respect back because we've always been taken care of when we go there, always been taken care of, and it's just phenomenal. And the relationships we've built, they could definitely, I think, to some extent, go beyond, just business, because there's probably stories that I can't tell you. Because they'll be incriminating. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But there might have been some drunken nights in karaoke, but that's one other time. So, but yeah. So I think
we'll
those
save that for the
and,
after show.
That's for at next level. Maybe there's videos to prove it. Where John goes crazy with the suppliers. So but yeah, some of the craziest stories, some of the craziest foods I've ever eaten. Duck tongue. I didn't even know that was a delicacy, but did that.
Interesting.
It's crunchy and it's interesting. So if anybody was wondering.
Good to know.
Yeah. I think the takeaway is like anyone can go to China and do it. We even have, customers that call and they want 10,000, 30,000 units of something. And we're just like, hey, like you can just go direct, and do that yourself. And like, we're totally fine. Like letting people know like all the problems they're going to have and it's going to come out right. But if you want an insurance policy and you want somebody that knows what they're doing, that has the close relationship with the factories, then you can do it through us. Yeah, but you're going to pay a little bit more, of course.
Right.
But you have an insurance policy when going through us.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think a lot of customizers, a lot of makers, they get afraid of that, right? But it's funny because we have we do some licensing stuff, and they're willing to pay, So we have products that have with that like legit licenses that put their logos and stuff on our products, and they're sold, and they're sold for quite a bit. So when these bigger companies don't go direct and they're using folks from the US, like they're using a supplier like me, they could easily go direct. They have the means to do it, but they don't. And so it's interesting because it goes to show that you don't have to go straight to China, to have this business. And I think everyone staying in their lane is also like a huge thing to not squirrel all over the place. That's another huge issue we run into is like, oh, I can go direct and I can order from this, and then you get that one supply. Like we had an event, and unfortunately, for this event, we wanted those LED pens. I think you say you supply them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a pain in the ass, though.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So we had this event coming up, right? And we couldn't find a supplier for them. This was a little while ago. And I looked like up and down the street. I could just not find anybody with the LED pens. And so I was like, all right, whatever, we'll go direct. And imagine, out of all the experience we have, we're like, I want it this way, send us videos, send us pictures, come on a video call. You got to show me like at least like 20 pens, because like you said, they're going to show me the best pen they got, And I'm like, it needs to be engraved. You need to show me the lights coming through. Okay, we get sent 2,000 pens. And it was literally, we were just doing an event that we wanted to hand them out for free. Half of them didn't come out. And imagine like being so experienced, having gone through, like all these questionnaires, it's still got. And so what happens next? We're like, okay, we got to refund half of them. They're like, nope, we can't refund it. It's typical China stuff, right? It's like, and I'm like, no, we need a refund. What am I going to do with the 1,000 pens that don't clickety click. Like I
Right.
clickety click and it ain't turning on, you
Yeah.
know. And they're like, "Did you engrave them?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course I engraved them."
Right?
The light. Yeah, and I'm literally like, "Look, I'm clickety
Okay,
clicking.
listen.
It's not clickety clicking,
Sorry.
you know." Yeah.
There was one customer who told me that she didn't think the pen worked. And
Yeah.
I said, "Did you engrave it?" And she was like, "Well, no."
Okay, yeah, and it does happen.
Well.
And no, it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
But after you ask somebody that many questions, you got to know I know what I'm doing. you
Right,
know?
yeah.
And anyways, the thing is that I didn't get the refund, but I got 1,000 extra pens that I didn't know what to do. I still have them because I didn't need them, right? And that's
Right.
that's China's shtick, is that they won't refund you the money. They're like, well, reorder it and we'll give you a discount, or they'll
Yeah.
send you a replacement product. Which I guess is okay and fair, but
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know
had
what
a
I'm
friend
gonna do with
who
1,000 pens.
was sourcing silicone, because silicone was like huge then with the watch bands and stuff. And she was sourcing silicone like wine cups. And, you know, she went through like the samples and the molds and like all that stuff. And then they sent them and they were great. And then it came time for her actual big order. And they had so many flaws in them, like like hairs legit in the silicone and bumps and bubbles. And, you know, of the, I don't know how many she got. I know there's a fucking fly now. Of how many, like 25% or so, or 50% she could actually like sell. And, you know, yeah, had to go through the painstaking, you know, refund and like by this point you've already sometimes spent months doing the back and forth and, you know, all of the stuff to try and like make sure that, you know, expectations are met and all of that. And then still you can be surprised at the end. There's one thing with the LED pens that I ran into. I had bought several thousand, and, you know, we did a test order and they went like crazy. And then we did a pre-order and those went like crazy. And then, so then I get my 2,000 pens or something in, and the counts were all wrong. They were random. It was like black was mixed in with red and green. And so then we not only had to like sort them, and then the counts were like, we were like 300 short on one color. We had 200 extra on like orange. And I'm like, really? What am I going to do with 200 extra orange pens? And then when I got the order, I didn't even think about the fact that they would have batteries. And the extra like hurdle of shipping things with batteries in them. And so they come in and I see the like warning label, you know, that you have to put on with items that have batteries in them. And I was like, oh shit. Like I have to have that label on the stuff that I'm sending to them. And now I have to communicate to my customer, like, you need to look into this as well if you're going to be shipping them. You know, if it's just local, you're fine. But then I had to go in that whole like downward spiral of like what was required and like, you know, what did I need to do to make that happen? And, you know, they don't make it super easy too, because it sounds really intimidating. But when it came down to it, it was just like a specific sticker with a specific code on it that matches the type of product, you know, that's inside. But to little old me, like it was pretty overwhelming, and it just came down to, you know, the packaging sticker. And those are things that I didn't even think about until I already had 2,000 pens. And I was like, well, shit.
It's always funny. It's always the little things that cause the biggest problem, right?
Yep.
It's like, it's a $2 pen, but it's like a royal pin in the rear, you know?
Well, I remember like you said with talking to the suppliers, I remember asking them like, oh, okay, like, are these lasers safe? You know, like what are they made of, like specifically? And she sends me a video of them being engraved. And I'm like, I know you can engrave them. I'm just wondering if you should engrave them. And so like just little things like that have been, you know, difficult. And then I mean, we're out of time for the free version, but I want to talk to you about like the tariffs and that kind of stuff and how that might have affected, you know, some of the things that you've done, you know, with supplying. I know it was really scary for us in the beginning, but we ended up, you know, managing it at some, for the most part.
I think it was also like, it was initially packaged really scary.
Yeah.
And everyone did, and then
Well,
once it was
I mean,
like,
it was 120% when we.
once,
Yeah.
but it kind of like settled in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, okay, this is like an inconvenience, not like
That first bill though that I got.
Yeah.
And I've heard some horror stories about other companies
Yeah.
who've had much scarier bills than mine. But
Yeah.
so let people know you have you don't really have like discount codes or anything like that, but what do you offer? You offer some bundles and stuff for people to save. So tell me something about that.
Yeah, so we have something called a build a bundle. A long time ago, we did a survey, thousands of responses, and a lot of folks were asking us, hey, how do we mix and match products in one like case and get a discount? So we came up with something called a build a bundle, and we have multiple build a bundles available on our shop, on our website. And you basically go in there, you pick the build a bundle. So let's say you pick like laser engraving build a bundle. So we basically have all our laser engraved products in that build a bundle, and you just select and add it to your case. And once you fill up 25 slots, you basically get 10% off. And so that's
Nice.
an evergreen thing. You can come and build your case, and for someone who's just starting out, is perfect because you kind of get that extra discount, but then you also get a mix of products. And as you guys know, if you go out there and you pick 25 different colors, it's a lot harder than going out there and picking a case of something, right?
Right.
When you just take a pack of 25 and put it in versus taking 25 individual colors, it just takes a lot longer. So we give the 10% off for the build a bundle where you can mix and match, but then we also give 20% off for basically buying by the case. And so if you buy strictly just like a case of the same product, you get 20% off. So if you think that you either get a big order, or if you want to stock up, a lot of people do that for stocking up. You just come in and you buy a case of whatever. And on our product pages, you could see it. It says buy by the case or buy singles. So you can just buy by the case and you get 20% off. And I'll hand it off to Mark. We haven't even released this. We haven't even really talked about it on air. So we thought we'd put it up here. So
nice.
You want to talk about our next product we're going to be releasing very, 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 very soon?
Yeah, the next is going to be called Build a Pallet. So to offer even those larger businesses that want to scale with MakerFlo, you can order a pallet worth of product and you can select different cases of all the different products you want. So it has to be a case, but it can be a variety of different products to build that pallet. You're going to get an additional 8% off. So a total of 28% off to build a pallet. And we also do offer free shipping over $99. So usually when you build a bundle or you buy by the case, you're going to reach that free shipping tier. So at $99, you get free shipping, and then build a pallet 28% off.
Yeah. So all these items are going to be evergreen on MakerFlo, whether you're watching, the podcast today or whether you're watching it tomorrow. Yeah. So we really pride ourselves and do our best that we can to, not get into too much discounting and keep prices steady. Because, as businesses, I think we do a disservice offering too many discounts too. Because we used to do it. And let's say your cost base was $2 because I gave a discount and you price yourself at $5. Well, if the true cost of that product is going to go up to $5, let's say, well, now you kind of screwed yourself by selling it for $5, right? So I think suppliers giving too many discounts, not saying that they can't, but you just have to make sure, like, if you're a business, that you watch out for that. If you're getting at a discount, don't discount your retail price, because you're gonna get stuck. And so, but we try to give the best prices based on the products we have, and we do our best to maintain those prices. And like you said, tariffs are here, and we still haven't raised prices on all our products like other suppliers have. They took that advantage of, hey, prices are going up, we're gonna increase prices across the board 10%, right? Yeah. But we still have pre-tariff prices on some products that we haven't received a shipment for. And so as the shipments start coming in, that's the only time we raise the prices. So but yeah, the tariffs have definitely slapped us silly. I'll tell you that. It's been a little rough. So
I get it. We'll talk about it for sure. And then before we get into where people can find you, any new products that are going to be at Next Level or anything?
Yeah.
We didn't even get to talk about Next Level at all. So that'll be in the after part too.
Let me start by saying, start with the pen example. So we really do pride ourselves in the quality of product and the kind of products we provide, right? And so I do have a couple of products here, but the first product here, which is a hammer, Funnily enough, during Father's Day, nobody had hammers. I don't know if you guys knew that, but
I
hammers
did
were, like,
hear about that.
non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we used to supply hammers. Like, we did very well with Father's Day and hammers, but we didn't have hammers this year. It's because we've been trying to rework the hammer since November of last year, and
Wow.
and it's still not done. And this, and imagine it's just a hammer, right?
Right.
And so you're like, John, why would it take 8 months for this hammer? Like, what is so special about it? Well, it's like what you're saying. They built the perfect, the suppliers, they'll manufacturers, they'll give you the perfect product, and then when you go to the final production, now all of a sudden you got, the resin is like wavy, there's like nicks and dents, and it's not smooth, and the black part like was absolutely atrocious. And then so anyways, we ran into all these problems, but we finally finalized it. So here is the new hammer set.
Nice.
So we're about to introduce this very, very soon. So why am I crooked? Here we go. There we go. Aha. Oh my goodness. So here it is. So it's going to come with the leveler, which is engravable.
Nice.
Then we have the hammer. And then the cool part is on the bottom, I'll take that out real quick. At the bottom, we have 2 sets of nails. So they're black nails, which is really cool.
Nice.
And they're 2 different sizes. And then within those 2 sizes, and I really like these. These, by the way, took forever to source. It's crazy. And by the way, a MakerFlo is not that big, but I will brag that I bought over 2 million nails. The bill wasn't that big.
Right?
But it's good to say that.
Right? I know when I'm like, I bought 20,000 keychain thingies, and it's like, I mean, listen, they're this big.
It's really not that big of a bill. No. They're really cheap, but
Right.
And then we also have a measuring tape we're giving, so along with the thing. And then I think the coolest part about this hammer, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but the reason why it took so long is because we made the hammer. It's going. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these before.
Has the notch in the
Nice.
The magnet top.
So now we have the magnetic top, but now you don't need your fingers to hold a nail. So you basically, so you can just go right into the wall. Huh?
That's
You don't have to hammer your thumb every time.
No, it's a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage when you use the hammer.
It was so funny. John was assembling one of our son's birthday gifts the other day, and it was a little like build a set, like, stem set thing. And he was like, yeah, but I need the screwdriver that has the magnet in it. And he was no, the one with the magnet. like, kid, if you only knew. In our day, there was no screwdrivers with magnets.
So I showed him a cool trick, how you take a magnet and you just scrape it and it becomes magnetic.
Yeah, if you take a magnet, you can magnetize it for a little bit. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're at, that's hopefully going to be here in like a month or so. So I'm really excited for Q4 on that one. If we have more time, we have another product that's pretty slick too. I don't know if you have time.
We'll show that to our
give
patrons.
everybody FOMO. Yeah, we'll save that.
So if you want to see more cool stuff,
all right,
join Patreon.
So this set,
You're gonna do it later.
Huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna do it later.
Oh, we're gonna do it later.
In a second.
Yeah,
but tell everybody where they can find you, and then we'll get into the other stuff.
Yeah, so MakerFlo.com is our website, and then all of our social medias are pretty much under MakerFlo as well. We got Instagram. We have a Facebook group for all of our MakerFlo customers.
Awesome.
TikTok, our YouTube. We also started a podcast recently, John and I, so you can go on Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts and follow our podcast as well.
What's the podcast called? Is it MakerFlo or?
It's called Making with Purpose.
Okay, nice. Awesome. We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we're excited about our next episode, which is going to be all about marketplaces, websites, Etsy, and sort of, how to sell online kind of thing. So
nice.
Super excited about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you guys stay right there. We're gonna see some more products, and we're gonna talk tariffs. So if you guys want to catch up on that, you're gonna have to go over to Patreon.
Well, make sure to stop by and see them at their booth.
Yes,
at
next level, because
ours too.
We'll get into next level as well over on Patreon. So be sure to join Patreon, or you can purchase the the extended interview as well. So that's it for Gen Pop. The life update's next, and life update time. Are you done yawning?
I think so. Probably not.
Probably not. She's probably gonna have a few more yawns in her.
I'm tired, man.
Yeah, it was a lot. So, I mean, it stays the same. The studio is kicking our butt. I got a fun
in a good way
new camera
yes
that I'm gonna finally be able to use
this weekend.
Well, use officially because I've been playing around with it, but now I really get to use it. This weekend for some content we're doing.
Yeah,
in
so
Texas.
excited. Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's a
can't wait to see his digs and all the stuff and try to walk away not wanting to make hats.
Yeah,
or
with
other things,
or with pew pews.
That all of that.
Try to walk away without any new pew pews. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
because So we're I mean we said it in the show, so we're going over to Lone Star Adhesive and do some content, shoot some content for Josh. And hang out. There it is. There's another one. It's all right. Hang out with Josh, shoot some content, shoot some guns. Hopefully, I get to play with my new gun. My new gun. See, I'm speaking it into existence.
No new guns.
Play with my new camera.
Yeah.
It's I've been playing with it.
Yeah.
Dialing it in for the shoot, but it'll be fun to really. Yeah. Shoot some stuff with it. It's a cinema camera, so it's gonna be all cinematic.
Fancy.
But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a short flight, thank God.
How long is it?
It's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Won't know what to do with ourselves.
Right? Yeah, we could
so
barely watch a
4
movie.
hour. Yeah.
Barely watch a movie on that. I know what I'm gonna be doing. I'm probably gonna be editing.
Yeah.
Like I always do.
Yeah. We have a lot coming up. We have Next Level coming up. We have your course to hopefully get out, your content creation mini course before Next Level.
Right. Our super top secret mission should be revealed
at
Next Level, which isn't really our super top secret.
We're just helping with it.
We're helping with it, so that should be revealed.
Yeah, and then there's just so much. I'm trying. We decluttered our house big time, so that was our focus this last week. We still have more to do. I already. To do in here. Well, in here is next. And then I already have another box of donations or things to sell. And we literally just decluttered last week.
We're finally unpacked.
I think so too.
We're
pretty close.
2 years, but we're finally unpacked.
And I mean, it was technically more than 2 years because there was shit that was packed in the old house that we brought here.
Yeah.
So honestly, just trying to get our lives together, trying to be as healthy as we can, trying to hustle all of the hustles and be the best parents we can.
Just when we think it calms down.
Yeah.
There's now an open house that we got to go to.
The open house. Open house and a meetup.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew
back to back too. 6 days apart.
Back to back weekends.
So it's I mean, but they're all positive things that we hope that we are able to go to both of them, if not at least one of them.
We wanted to travel. We wanted to do a tour, which
now we're just really basically doing a tour and
different stops,
bits and pieces.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's what we got going on. I think that's all we got, right? Because we got to pack for this trip.
We do. We literally leave in 2 days. Yep. So I got to get my shit together and make sure
I got to figure
everything.
out how I'm taking the gear. That's the biggest thing. Because without the gear, then there is no reason for the trip.
Right. Yeah.
So
I got you guys.
There it is. Again, remember, join Patreon if you haven't already, so you can be on the list if you do the shout out or above.
I'm not crying, but if I need to get your support, I will.
You can also join for free to really get FOMO, because then
get some idea. You see what's posted and when,
and everything like that.
Well, you get previews, kind of.
Yeah, you get few little teasers as to what the show is going to be, and you get to see who's going to be on. So then you can either purchase that extended interview, or you could just join. I say just join.
Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. And also, don't forget
the extended interviews, man, are worth the most value. Honestly,
this one was great.
There's just 45 minutes is hard. You just get into the conversation, and then now it's time for the episode to be over. So that's
Yep.
why we do that extra part, is because the episodes were going an hour and a half anyway. Then we get off with them and then we talk for another 30 minutes or an hour. And so we were like, we just need to record a little bit more of that. But instead of making it a 2-hour show, we break it up into approximately an hour
Right.
for everybody, and then approximately another 30 minutes or so for, the patrons. So, yeah.
Anyway, if you listen to this, what you should do is now, because this is the end of the show. Well, this is the end of the pay. If you're not a patron, you should head over to the MakerFlo YouTube and check out their podcast.
Yeah,
Making
I'm
with a
excited to check
Purpose.
that out.
Is it making? I just want to make sure. Making with a Purpose. I
Yes.
think it is. Yep, Making with a Purpose.
Yeah.
It's under the MakerFlo YouTube
YouTube.
channel. So be sure to go over there, subscribe,
Yeah.
so that you can be there doing it once a month live. So you can catch it live, or you can catch the replay once a month. Not too big for now. I'm sure they'll grow and do it, maybe bi-weekly or something like that. But be sure to support them over there and podcast. And that'll do it for the Riley Black Project. Crystal and John.
Bye.
Maybe we're all done. The Riley Black Project. Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Wait, hold on. Nino, I'm recording.